It's particularly interesting you mentioned Two Serpents Rise there, because I was thinking in the many thoughts I've had about craft sequence in general is that book always stood out to me as being quite different, partly because it seems the most disconnected from the wider narrative, but also until Dead Country, it's the only one that really has one narrator, whereas all the others have multiple narrators. Was that a conscious choice either for Two Serpents Rise or for Dead Country, or was that just something that came about as you were writing it?
Those were both the kind of demands of the book, and Two Serpents is one where I keep asking myself whether it was the right choice.
Oh.
With Dead Country, because it's such a contained story, it's very, it has a lot of sort of Western vibes. I wanted it to be short, and I wanted it to be this like tight character journey for Tara specifically, especially since in the second book, we're seeing a lot more of a lot of other people. The second book, the aperture widens tremendously, but hoping that new people would be coming in and picking this one up after a certain amount of hiatus, the beginning of something new, I thought, well, let's introduce them to Tara as this sort of very relatable, to me anyway. I don't know.
I think so too, yeah.
Yeah, Tara, very relatable point of view character, who also has some incentive to talk about the base structure of the world in this book in a way that might get other people up to speed and also suggests narrative possibilities for the future. So with Dead Country, I feel very strongly, I think, and we'll see what the general reader reaction is. I think it all works very well. Mm-hmm. With Two Serpents, I found myself in this tug of war where on the one hand, I really wanted, and this was something I was more enamored of when I was younger, I really wanted that moment of like abrupt narrative reversal, which is something that I kind of got hooked on through Dorothy Dunnett, like the moment where you find something out about the story that just changes your read of the entire last like 300, 400 pages you've been reading. It's just tremendous. It's like it's such a high when it works. And for me, with Two Serpents Rise, that was the sort of shift of Caleb's relationship to Mal and figuring out what's been going on with her all along. The flip side of that is that, like, there's actually a lot going on in Mal's character that, because she's specifically not sharing it and like playing it really close to the vest, I think she comes off on the page as a little bit less accessible, like a little bit less like worked through, because we don't see things from her perspective. And it also loses some of the voltage that I sort of think is there for romantically between them. But of course, we can't see her perspective or her reactions to Caleb. Yeah. But if I had them both of their point of views worked through, then that element of the
the completely different book.
It would be a completely different book. So I found myself in this tug of war internally, and that often happens to me when I'm writing. You're sort of trying to navigate attention, and you hope you do it well.
I think you do it well, but I would say that because I have read the books far too many times for it to be sane, to be honest.
I appreciate that. It's very gratifying. I try to write books that can be read once and enjoyed, and read multiple times with reward for that effort. And
I'd say you succeed there. Thank you. I think it'll be interesting to see people's reactions who pick up Dead Country for the first time, and then also how and if they then go to the backlist. I think
I don't know.
I'm quite intrigued. Yeah,